Hey guys, just another update. So I was still having issues with the fit at the front, so I went back in again with the Dremel and took out even more and took it further back as well, and the rear. So all around there needed to be shoved back with the Dremel. Now that fits far better now. That just sits snug. I've just given it a few areas. There's a bit there that needed some filler. I think that was pretty good, that one. The a bit of filler there, little bits. So this Halford's primer leaves a lovely finish, but it is dark. But at least it shows up the imperfections. So I've gone around and sorted all them out. I'm using Deluxe Putty. This is Deluxe Perfect Plastic Putty, and it's really good. So you just squeeze it out and just use a Q-tip or cotton bud or whatever, and just wipe it on. And then use a bit of water. It's water soluble, so you can smooth it out with some water. Oh yeah, now the Cockpit Tubs, they're tricky to get in also. So I tried to get it in on camera a few times with a painted Pilot, just sitting there snugly. But when you're actually trying to get it in, I've noticed the front is too short inside, so the cockpit tub is too long. So that's not actually, although you could glue that in place there and that would be all right, wouldn't be the end of the world, but just to get it super snug, the front needs to be dremelled out. That's not sitting snug. That's knocking against the top here. So just a little tip, all the way I'm doing it, sit it back inside as far as you can, and then just get a pencil and just trace round, and you'll see the areas then that need to be addressed. Okay, so if we take that out, there you'll see the outline of where the tub is sitting. So I can go in with the Dremel now and just zing that smooth, and that'll sit in there far snug, more snug, snugger, whatever the word is. But it will be better than how it is. And I'll do that again on the other tub. But it's a resin kit. These things happen, and to have problems inside here are far better than problems that you can see on the outside. So that's quite fortuitous that it's inside, and I can just quickly whiz the Dremel around and get that sitting snug. Okay, so that literally took me a minute off camera. I just Dremeled around the inside, around there, and then you stick the tub in. Sorry, I'm not getting this on camera. And there, that's a snug fit now. And there's no gap around the top. And that's taken a minute. So just that little tracing tip around the inside works a treat. And I'm using that drill bit in the Dremel, just whizzing around. Just make sure you wear a mask, because the resin dust is lethal. It'll kill you quicker than COVID. So yeah, enjoy. Just one note on something I've done paint-wise. I've given this a coat of gold elm. The only reason is that the Halford's primer that I'm using is really dark. So I'm hoping to lessen the amount of paint I have to apply with the SP Scarlet, because I've only got one bottle. Actually, I might have two, but that was an older one. Anyway, this will lighten the colour of the base coat of the instead of using the dark Halford's primer, I can just go straight ahead and just use the SP Scarlet on a lighter base coat. So that will lessen the amount of paint I'll have to use with the SP Scarlet. So yeah, now on to SP Scarlet. Okay, so that's the first layer down. It looks like a lobster. But yeah, this is the way I'm building it up. So light coats first, just build up the base coat. You don't have to hit it with a full heavy coat of paint straight away. It's all in the layers, so just carefully build up the layers as you go. You'll notice there's like a splotchy pattern, or very fine sort of dots. You get that with the waterborne acrylics. It's nothing to worry about at all. It's just the first layer adhering. After that, second layer, third layer, that'll all disappear and blend beautifully. So it's just a case of building up the layers. Okay, so that's the second coat down. I'm thrilled with that. Absolutely thrilled. Look at that for the ref picture from the Sculpting a Galaxy book. Guy was spot on with that SP Scarlet. It's absolutely beautiful, and that's just 2 coats. It's still wet, as you can see, but I should move over to my wide spraying airbrush really, because I'm getting some sort of trigger cramp in my finger. But it sits so smoothly on there, that acrylic paint. I say this in every one of my videos, how good this Archive X acrylic paint is. But yeah, 2 coats. And all I've used so far is, I don't know if you can really see that, but I've just filled that up for the next shoe. That's about as much as I used, which is as clear as mud, but at least you sort of can see. So that is the 1980 SP Scarlet. And looking at the ref, absolutely fantastic. It's spot on for that colour, absolutely spot on. So yeah, on to the next one. Okay, so now I've got it all coated in the SP Scarlet, which looks superb. It's well, it just looks like the exact colour that's in the Sculpting a Galaxy book, and the later Chronicles actually. So yeah, this is how it's looking. I'll go around now with a Moxcar around the front there. These aren't glued down, so there's still a bit of an issue at the front. I've got to heat them up and just glue them down a little bit and clamp them at the front. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. That's looking really nice. So that's the SP Scarlet on both the cars and underneath as well. As I say, these aren't glued on at all. So onto the Moxcar around the front next. Just a quick one on the masking. I've masked out the top there for the Moxcar red. I'm using Mammoth low tack painter's masking tape. It really is low tack. There's hardly any tack to it, even to the point where you've got to be careful. You've got to keep sort of pushing it back down because it is lifting up. So just I mean, I shouldn't have any problems. The acrylics adhere like mad. They really, you know, they're stuck on there. But just be careful with normal masking tape, because it can rip the all your hard work up. But this is why I use that Mammoth masking tape, and I've got to show that I've got all these ready to go. It looks very bright and harsh at the moment, but there's going to be lots of weathering. I say lots, mainly mist coats. So on the last cloud car that I painted, I used grime, I think, on Lee Rouse recommendation, misting on, and that really not only gave it that vintage look, but it really dulled down the real harsh brightness of the orange. So yeah, onto Moxcar now. Okay, so here we have the Moxcar. So yeah, that's 1975 Moxcar red. I went on pretty heavy. It seems pretty heavy on the ref photos, whereas the rust areas and that sort of thing, Guy did warn me of taking it easy on those, because if you go too heavy it doesn't look right. So this is my world famous unmasking. I should have masked a bit more around the red really, because I'm always one for getting overspray. So that's literally just, I'm not hardly pulling out at all. So that's that low tack masker just comes off really nicely without affecting the base coat. So yeah, that's the Moxcar, and once misted down, that'll turn that sort of mauve colour that's that can be seen on the reference pictures. I'll just take that off and just stick that on and see what that looks like. Yeah, it's looking nice. Happy days. So I've been using the Archive X thinner, which is great, but I've run out of that, so I've moved on to the Vallejo Thinner, which is also very handy, and that can be, you know, bought on Amazon Prime. That's quite good next day. Then I ran out of that, so I've now moved on to Airbrush Cleaner. So I wouldn't recommend using that, but it appears to be working well, and I did use it. I did paint a whole Slave 1, studio scale Slave 1 with Guy's acrylics using Airbrush Cleaner as a thinner, and it held up well. So in worst case scenarios, an emergency, this will get you out of trouble, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, so here we have all the panels done in rust. I had a bit of a head scratcher about a few of the panels, and it is confusing. But I spoke to the guys. If you're in doubt, speak to Guy and Lee, and they usually sort you out. You won't paint a bad model by listening to those guys' advice, I'll tell you that. Yeah, so they were like, yeah, keep going with the rust. Guy sent me some more ref pictures that really helped. But apart from the Moxcar in the middle there, all the main panels, to my eye, are pretty much done. Once the misting goes on, that'll really tie it all together, and it'll really take shape then. That's the final step. That's what will really give it its vintage look and dusty hue, and what you can see in the ref, hopefully. So it's amazing what you forget. I build models so often that I forget what I'm doing when I repeat a project. So as I say, the previous cloud card was sent away to someone else. So I didn't have it as ref, so I couldn't look at what panels I'd done. I never take note about what I do. I just do it on the fly and spray away, and that's when you sort of you forget what panels are what colour and what you used on that sort of thing. And yeah, so I've had to go back and sort of relearn the cloud card, but it's been great. Just the next step will be the misting now. I think I use foundation. I think I use foundation or grime. So I'll have a play with that. But yeah, I'm nearly done.